Oh, it's just me. It's awfully lonely here. I miss Thomas already. I miss Thomas. You guys, welcome to the Not Relevant podcast, but I'm not alone. I'm not all the way alone. I got my better half.
Yeah, I'm standing right here. He's like, I miss Thomas. That's okay, Thomas. I miss you too.
Thomas, we do miss you, but it's awesome to be hanging out with my wife. So I'm not going to complain at all
anymore.
Yeah, anymore, or else I'm going to be sleeping downstairs. So,
which is where we are. So he's just all ready to go.
I'll be sleeping in the chair. It'll be just like a regular work day. Is what's going to happen. I'll just be just right here. Hello. Happy Thursday to you, Jen.
Thanks.
For those that don't know, Jen, she's actually not muted. She's just coming in on my mic. So it says you're muted, but you're not. Okay.
Am I really not? Because we've done one of these. We did one of these on my channel where we were muted like the whole time. Everybody's like, we can't actually hear you.
A little bit muted. Everyone could hear me just fine.
Oh, well, then we're good to go.
I have to say a big shout out to Josh Hutchins, who came in early before we even began and gifted a membership. And it looks like Josh gifted 5 and Britta has already gifted a membership as well. Thank you very much. I've got a couple of memberships to give out myself, and we'll get to that here in a little bit. 6volt says, check your gift settings. First podcast of the month. Yes, we're going to give away. I think I've got 10 to give away today, which is the normal number. It doesn't go up or down. It's just that's what they give me, 10 to give away.
I love that you think about it. I think it's 10 this time.
Well, I never know when the program's just going to disappear and YouTube's going to be like, that was a good idea. We decided not to do it anymore. So
that's true.
So, things can change at a moment's notice. I don't know what happened to my cord here. Fixing things. Hang on. Stall for me.
No. Okay. Here's the thing. I came in here with the express thing that I'm color commentator. You guys are it.
I told everyone that we're going to do Q&A.
Okay.
So I might have tricked her into coming down here. I've given her 0 heads up. Nice. No scripts. You don't even have a computer. I've got all these things to play with, and you have nothing.
I have a phone. I have lights though. That's improvement.
She's actually she looks better than me. Oh, she always does, but she's lit better than me. Mrs. Ray, you are lit.
Leave all of those jokes. Just don't.
No, okay, never mind. All right. Welcome. It's good to have you here. We may have a couple people pop in. We may have a cameo or two. It cannot be on the burner phone.
Yeah, because I'm on the burner phone. Yeah. This is my camera. Is the burner phone.
So
sorry.
Burner phone is out. If you call the burner phone, it hangs up on her and she's gone. It's then just Jen, just me.
So don't. Maybe call on the burner phone. I didn't know that was an option.
We're not going there. So yeah, what we will do though is I'm going to put something in chat that is available. It's the other way. It's the other way you connect, and it's always a little bit of a little bit of a. I get nervous, and the mods get nervous when it happens. But there it is. I have posted in chat the link to the show, and who else to tell me that I've done something wrong than Mr. Thomas himself. Thomas, welcome.
Thomas, so glad you're here.
Do you have a mic, or are you just listening today? Oh.
Will the mic help?
Hello.
Is that for real?
I'm better than that. Yeah, I'm better than that.
You sound so much better than earlier.
Hang up, Thomas. It's not worth it.
I'm better than that. I tell you what, I feel way better than I sound, but every time I miss a podcast and Mrs. RA comes on, there's 10 times the viewers. So I had to come on tonight so I could finally be a part of a high viewer episode.
Whatever.
I wanted to finally be a part of a big viewer episode.
Oh yeah, it's
what do you have?
I Flu A.
Yeah.
Flu A.
Flu A, yeah.
Oh, Flu A. I thought you said 2A. I'm like, what is that?
Second Amendment. It's got a bad case of the Second Amendment. That's
no. I'm good. I feel great. I feel life is good. My voice, but little weather watch. She caught mine, so she's out for the count. So I feel bad. But
she has to stay at home and play with the bird.
So I
think that was by plan.
She's like, oh, Dad, so sick.
Well, and I'm a terrible dad, right? I'm the worst of dads because she was like, you got me sick. I caught what you caught. And I was like, well, look at the
You
bright
did
side.
this to me.
Yeah, that's what she's doing, right? And I'm like, well, look at the bright side. You get to stay home from school. We homeschool. So she was like,
It's like, really, Dad?
no, she gave me the F you trees. Yeah, no, she didn't, but that was my
wow. Them are fighting words.
No, it was warranted. If she did, I would have accepted them. But so anyways, but we're here. But what I drop into? Because I just ran upstairs, jumped in. Are we in Q&A?
Well, I just gave
out,
we're doing Q&A. I just gave out the link. Okay. I know Curtis Jones has joined backstage, but we don't have a camera, so I can't let you in without a camera, because bad things can happen if I bring somebody without a camera and suddenly they turn their camera on and it's surprise, it's a troll. So we have to be super cautious that way. But
Amber has now joined as well, and
yes,
and her and I were speaking on the phone earlier, and she cannot join. I gave her too much dirt.
So,
so it looks like I just kicked her out. Oh, Josh was here and then he left.
Did he leave?
Oh,
Did you
Josh?
kick him out? Whiff.
But now we're going to censor Amber.
Yeah, okay. Amber. I was about to hover over the join ask to stay at the stage button, but now I'm just going to go to ban from studio. It's actually an option.
Perfect.
I love the little note that's on there. Like before you get welcomed in, they said, okay, you're in the back room. Only the host can see you, but they can bring you in at any minute. So be ready. I'm like, I'm both excited and so nervous.
Josh, can you give me a thumbs up? Are you good? Nod. We're good. All right. Oh,
you look good.
Sorry.
Oh.
That was quick. You got a moment of fame, and that's it. Josh, welcome. How are you doing?
What's up, Doc?
Can
y'all hear me?
A little bit.
All right, hold on 1 second.
No, we can hear you. It's a little quiet. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah. So welcome. I don't think we've ever had you on the podcast before. This is a first for you.
It is a first.
Apologies, Josh.
Yeah.
You're starting at the bottom.
Goes up from here.
Quick introduction as we go around the circle. Obviously, to my right is Thomas, my podcast partner. Down below me, but not. I should probably put you above me. Let's do that. Above me is my wife. That's the proper position. Here we go. And now to my right is Josh Hutchins, who is one of our great mods, one of our latest additions to the mod group, and a court watcher extraordinaire. I don't know how you do it, Josh.
Seriously,
sniffing out court cases around the country that are spicy and interesting. And
you have mad skills.
We're impressed. We're all impressed.
And seriously, that was an impressive sneeze as well. That was awesome.
I think that was Thomas.
I know it was Thomas.
That was
He's
Thomas.
giving
That
me
was
crusty.
Mute button.
Welcome. Jenna Tullis. Do you have a camera, Jenna? What we'd love to do is if anyone has a question, first of all, you can tag me in chat. You have to tag me because the words are all the way across the room from me, and I can't see them unless there's a big name in there. But if you've got a question for, I guess, any of us right now.
Mostly Josh.
Mostly Josh, yeah. We'll
Ask
put
Josh
front
questions.
Ask me whatever you want to. I'm good.
Josh, what made you want to be an RA?
An RA mod.
I need to go to bed. A mod.
What made me want to be a mod? Good question.
Yep. Sorry, did I stump you?
Do you have regrets? I guess it would probably be.
Oh
a
no, I
question.
have no regrets whatsoever.
None of us have a good answer for that question.
No,
Josh.
we don't.
We've been trying to come to grips with this reality for quite a while.
I think I'm listening to these guys. I want them to sing some sort of like barbershop quartet, like all these deep voices.
So Thomas is in Texas. I'm in North Carolina. Josh is in Georgia.
Yeah, I'm in Georgia.
Honestly scared of.
Yeah.
The police there.
Georgia scares me.
Yeah.
If they catch you, they hold you forever. You'll rot before you get seen in court for your traffic ticket. I'm convinced that that's the case. So Anyway, Jenna, I don't see a camera from you, Jenna. Do you have a? I see her in the backstage, but the camera's not on.
I don't see any questions. I might be missing them though.
So,
I wasn't looking.
my uncle is a sheriff deputy, so that's my connection to crime.
To crime.
Hopefully, it's not your. It's your only connection, right? You don't have like
That's my only connection. No,
a rap
no.
sheet that's that's like a mile long. We've got one here from Cat Lady Ballerina. Says, recovery addict, what is you and Mrs. Ari's favorite thing to do with the kids as a family? Ooh,
I know mine.
that's a great one.
Scott's like buffering.
I was hoping Mrs. Ari would step up here.
I love the dinner games because I have energy in the morning. I get a lot of stuff done in the morning, but I don't. At
Dinner
night.
games. You're thinking Hunger Games, and it's different.
It's
okay? it's not the
close.
same.
It depends.
we play games at the dinner table that are like word
Absurd.
games.
They're
Yeah.
nonsense games.
They're word games
Yeah.
where one person might start with the word, the next person links it to something else, and once it goes all the way around the table, because there are a lot of us, it has a lot of stops.
Yeah.
The last person has to connect the two words with another word.
Yeah.
And
Scott's really good at that game. The kids love the create a story game. So the first person has to come up with like, here's what your main character is, and the next person has a sidekick and their issue. So that the main character also has an issue, and then the third person has, here's the challenge that they're trying to overcome, and I think somebody has the setting, and then the next couple people have to make a story out of that. It's absurd. Every one of our characters is killed like 30 times. I'm like, you guys cannot keep killing them off. We're really bad at it.
I have the same ending. And they all lived happily ever after. When it gets to me, that's what I say. Doesn't matter what happened before.
The end.
How long the story is. Can we do that in chat?
Adam,
Oh, word link.
We could try.
It would be hard. There'd be so many. It's a rated G, guys.
Yeah. You'd have to pass it to a specific person because everyone would pick up at the same point.
Yeah, that would be confusing a little bit. I saw one question.
Can
So
you
like
demonstrate that
D&D?
game on stream for us here?
I don't know enough about D&D to maybe. My son actually loves D&D. Our oldest son, he is writing a thing.
It's a thing he's writing.
I don't know what
It's like
called.
it's like a transcript or a stack of papers that's bound together tightly with the cover, but we don't
It's
have
a book. I know
Okay.
it's a book.
Oh, there's
I'm
a word
just
for that?
saying.
Oh, a thesis. He's writing a thesis. Got it.
He's writing something for D&D where he's taking all these
It's a
different
campaign.
characters. Oh, campaign. That's what it's called.
Campaign.
He's writing that for somebody. Yes. Guys, look at what I'm getting here.
I have a
Question for
question.
Josh. Oh, sorry. Go
Oh.
ahead.
Go.
No,
Yeah.
go for
What is the best? This is from Lexi. Thanks, Lexi, for this. Josh, what is the best trial you've watched that most of us might not know about?
it. Ooh, good one.
Oh wow.
I bet he's more than one.
Well, considering I've been a juror 3 times,
Whoa, you just can't learn.
You got the questions wrong every time.
I did. I can tell you what not to say.
I want to go after
Um,
Josh. Anything he says, I'll say the opposite.
Probably there's a shoplifting case that I was a juror on. The guy I was picked for the jury, and then the day of trial, we're in the room. We're back there for 2 hours, and then and I got lost. So I'm moseying my way through the courthouse, and I accidentally go through the courtroom, and they're taking a plea deal.
You were the jury?
Mhm.
You were on
I
the
was
jury?
the
You
I
walked
was
in?
on the jury. I'm like, oh,
Oh.
sorry.
About face.
Luckily, you were about to be dismissed in that
Yeah,
case.
lucky I was about to be dismissed, and so yeah,
That is hilarious. That is funny. Oops, wrong room.
it was no room. Yeah,
Let's see.
so
Funny.
the pay for where I live, because I live in a small town, it's probably $20 a day. So
Big dollars. That reminds
Don't
me.
spend it all in one place, right?
no,
This has
no,
nothing to do with
no.
court. But that story just reminds me. One time we went to this celebration. It was a Christmas celebration, and we were invited. And it was like, well, you just meet in front of this church here. And I was like, well, I know where that church is. So we went, and it's dark, and we're late because we're late to everything. And we get there, and we're just kind of standing in this large group of people. And out of nowhere, these lights come on, and they light all of us up, and everybody around us starts singing, like belting it out. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we're going to sing. And then I noticed like they're all wearing robes, like choral robes. And we have just walked up behind the choir and just joined their choirness. And we're like, oh,
Sorry.
It was so bad.
Sorry.
I was like, duck and cover, kids, or just hold still. Maybe they won't notice us. So bad. Wrong room. Sorry.
Oops. I like exploring.
Can y'all not hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. People say my voice is crackly. So
Yeah. It's the mics. It sounds like
mics.
paper on it a little bit. But
okay.
Thomas, you had a question for Josh?
I actually had a question for Mrs. R.A.
Okay.
And I do too.
Okay.
Thursday, March 6th, 2025. Did you envision yourself being on air on a podcast on a Thursday night with your husband and internet friends he's never met, but we know each other so well? We know our spouses, you know our siblings, but never in person, and who we are. What is it
Weird.
like to you for that?
So
We're in
weird.
the same boat, so that's why I'm curious to know your opinion.
Yeah, it's a bizarre world that it's become normal at this point, but it still feels weird. And it's like we have still never actually seen you in person.
Right.
And yeah, it's a weird world.
Speaking of seeing you in person, Mary W says, apparently I'm Mrs. R.A.'s twin. The hubby just walked in by and did a double take. He says, how are you there? And why are they calling you Mrs. R.A.? Mary,
You're
now
a
you
good-looking lady.
You've got to dial in. You got to click the link.
Yeah,
and
really.
join us.
It's
Yeah.
on.
Pantufle has a question. Looking to move to North Carolina. Where should I look? It depends what you want. If you want to be at the world's best beaches, which nobody knows about, it's the Outer Banks. Hope you like hurricanes.
Nobody knows.
Also,
They know about the Outer Banks.
Nobody knows. I'm in Texas and I know about it. Come on.
Also, the houses there are just slide into the ocean because the Outer Banks are washing away. That's also because of the hurricanes. So that's great. If you love beautiful mountains, you go all the way to the east, Asheville area, a little spendy. If you like the nightlife and the going out and about and having a million things to do, that's going to be the Raleigh, the Triangle area.
Charlotte,
and if you'd
too.
like to be 2 hours from anywhere with nothing, then you
Right
can come here to Greenville.
here.
Yeah, that's where we are, right in the middle of nothing.
People will ask us, they're like, hey, where are you from? Because we never, like, if we go somewhere, we go far away because everything's far away. They'll ask where we're from. And we're like, oh, Greenville. They're like,
Never heard of it.
Yep. Like, I don't know what that is.
Like the
That's where
closest
the
thing.
ghetto. That's where the ghetto Walmart is.
Nobody
Yeah.
knows where I live at either. So
Are you in a little town?
I am.
Okay, yeah.
But hey, my little town's famous. So
What's it famous for?
look up the Brown House Museum. It's got a lot of good history to it.
I don't know it. What's the Brown
Yeah.
House Museum?
It's in Suttersville. It's where Paul Revere slept at one point.
We have one of those in our town. There's a little sign that says like George Washington slept here for one night while traveling to catch a train or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like our claim to fame. It's like
I know.
there was a storm and he had to shelter in this shed and we
and
preserved
also,
it.
And he hated it, but here it is.
we're famous for we're in the kale capital of the world.
Nice. It's your
Yes.
fault.
It's our fault.
What capital?
Kale.
Kaolin.
Oh, I misheard.
I thought kale like the vegetable.
That's what I thought you said.
Kaolin.
What is kaolin?
I don't know.
It's like made of, you put makeup, paint.
Oh.
It's the main
It's
ingredient.
the filler.
It's filler, yeah.
It's chemicals.
Chemicals,
Chemical
yeah.
capital.
Yeah.
Perfect.
How did all your paths cross?
That's
well,
a great one.
I could tell how you knew Thomas. I don't know if you've ever told like the real story.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I can tell it, but go for it. I
Listen,
wanna
No,
hear
Andrews.
you know it. I don't know if you know this side of it though. You tell your side, and then I'll interject the part you don't know.
And then I want to know how y'all found me. So
Okay. I'll tell mine, and then Mrs. All interject. So, I found Scott on YouTube and started watching his channel as a follower. He had a few followers going, and then
Very few.
I interacted often and was active, not a mod, anything like that, but was a part of it. I interjected some of my weather hobbyist stuff early on, and he was so gracious to let me project it to weather severe weather warnings that were happening around the country. He let me advertise that within his channel and whatnot. And then there was an event one night, a protest on, I don't remember where it was, Scott. I forget. Michigan or somewhere.
Was it
Oh
a
man,
protest?
yeah, it was.
It was a protest turned riot, basically. And between me becoming live, doing weather and not, I had Scott's contact info. So I sent him a text and said, we just said your voice. I'm real sick. Just in case. But
Everyone's like, keep this voice always. Sounds
yeah,
amazing.
I told my wife it's the best radio voice I'd ever have, better than my own. My voice is bad. This one's way better. So I text Scott. He was streaming live of said protester and riots and said, hey, I've got some intel, not intel, but I have some background because my
Insight,
father,
Yeah.
insight. Yeah, that's a great word. I grew up around this and learned it from, and so he's like, well, jump on. And so I think we covered it live late night for like 2.5 hours or
That was a
something.
blast. Yeah.
We were just co-commentating on what was happening, and the show was over and whatnot. And I just said, let's do a podcast and talk stuff. I mean, kind of out of nowhere, but it was 2 hours of hanging out. And Scott said, yeah, let's do it.
Sign me up immediately.
So just shy of 3 years, here we are. But that's my take. Jen, what's or Mrs. All right?
Yeah. So they know I'm Jen. It's good.
Okay, perfect.
So way before that, Scott came, and I don't remember, right at the very beginning, there were a lot of people taking pictures of their pets and stuff and sending them into the burner phone. And there's a picture of you having his mug, the recovery addict mug. What does it say on the front of it? I can't remember.
True crime addict.
Yeah, okay. But it had some quote. It doesn't matter. Anyway,
It's like
objection.
overruled grounds.
Grounds. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you were holding that mug, and under it was like weather watch, and Scott was like, a real YouTuber is watching me. He was like, this guy, he's a professional and he's watching me, and this is the most exciting thing ever. I was like, oh my gosh, we've hit the big time. It was really exciting.
And I still
That's
feel
like,
Yep,
I had,
still true.
I had 10 subscribers when that happened.
You had a channel. It was awesome.
That's fun.
yeah,
Here we are.
I'm missing questions here if you guys see them.
I know, but I saw a couple people doing the word link. It was just really smart. Somebody was, I can't remember. I was like, that's a good link. The second word was rubber. I can't remember the first one. It was funny. But then they said rubber, and I was like, sledding. We always used to go sledding. We have the inner tube of the tires, and we'd go on snow and sled down. And my kids are like, why would you get a car tire and sled on it? I'm like, hey,
That's how we were
Idaho.
raised.
leave me
Yeah.
alone.
You mean you could buy like an official sled?
I know.
You don't just like make your own out of whatever you find around the farm?
I know their mom. They're like, Mom, they're
Yeah.
called sleds. I'm like, you don't know. We've got inner tubes we're using. It's awesome.
Fair.
We've had some fun.
Scott, you want to introduce how Josh, he's here. He's on
Yeah.
the podcast, and how we got intertwined and stuck to and not let go of the channel. Sorry, Josh.
I don't remember. It's like he's just always been here. Josh, I don't know when you joined, but like since you've been here, you've always just been the person who had an idea. It's like, hey, I'm looking for a case, and you're like, it's right here. I'm looking for something. You're like, you might want to check over here, and just right away we saw that there was just incredible talent and an ability there, and we brought you on as a mod. Probably the quickest the quickest approval process that we've had with any mod decision in the history of our channel. But and never looked back. Just been you just every time you go to bat, you hit it out of the park. So it's just awesome.
Because I remember the day when you announced it, it was during a hurricane.
Perfect timing.
Which is like a Wednesday if you're in Georgia, right?
Yeah.
No, that was awesome. All right. I'm willing to quit my job to become a mod on this channel. I can promise you the pay on your job is better. I can promise that.
Joyce, the taxes are terrible when you come to work here. The taxes are killer.
Okay, somebody said that they would ride a Tonka truck down sledding. And this reminds me,
I love it.
I have so many hick stories. When I was going to college, everybody's poor in college. We're all just poor. And so, but we went somewhere that it snowed so much. And so we didn't have any inner tubes. We couldn't afford inner tubes. So instead we took our couch cushions and we stuck them inside big garbage sacks so that they're
Seems
slippy.
legit.
But you'd think that would be bad enough, but two of the boys in our group, oh, I hope that they can have kids, but they got this bench and they thought, hey, that bench would be super slippery if we just turned it upside down. So they turned this bench upside down and they're sitting on the underside of the bench and they're just sort of sliding. I think they kind of got going down the hill. Well, they hit something hard. The bench stops. They don't. They run right into the legs that are up in front of them. And I was like, we can be done now. Let's go home. It's fine. It's fine. They didn't talk for a while.
Poor walk.
It was so bad. I'm like, oh, we need more money. This is so bad.
Megan, thank you very much for the gifted membership.
If we want to talk about horror stories, then I've got one.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, so y'all might not get it, but I'm in a wheelchair. Anyway, I was going down my wheelchair ramp one day, and I had this bar that I put up for a reason because one day I was having some resistance going down the ramp, but unbeknownst to me, they let me go, so I let go. Well, I hit the ledge, and I don't wear a seatbelt because I never know. I don't want the wheelchair to land on top of me, so. Right. I hit the ledge. I go flying out of my wheelchair, and my wheelchair goes flying towards my swing set.
Oh my goodness!
And this is on a Sunday. This is on a Sunday morning going to church.
What happened? Were they like, sorry?
And it was, the thing is, I landed in a bunch of rose thorn bushes. So.
Why do you have rose thorn bushes at the bottom of a ramp? This is like a recipe for disaster.
I think it was a setup, obviously, but
I didn't do it. I didn't. I've done some evil stuff. I didn't do this one.
I imagine you can laugh about it now, but that sounds terrible.
It was
Can
terrible.
you laugh? I am laughing. Is it still
It
terrible?
was funny. No, the thing is, my mom and stepdad were laughing. They're like, we were going to make sure you're okay after we stop laughing. Final things.
Sorry, you got to give me like the laugh card. Is it okay to laugh now?
Yeah, you can laugh now.
Okay, good. Because that's kind of funny.
I feel bad. But, the mental image it paints is an interesting one.
Unpleasant. Well, you have an excellent excuse. I did something just similar but so stupid, and I had no excuse. I was a little kid, and when I was little, I had just all this tons and tons of energy, and so I couldn't walk anywhere. I just didn't walk. I somersaulted everywhere I went. I just
wait, Mr. Do you have tons of energy?
When I was little.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine, huh?
Not anymore. Okay,
not anymore.
Just had to.
Thank you, Thomas. So I'm somersaulting all over, and I'm in my grandma's house, and she had a wheelchair. And so there's this ramp that goes from upstairs to the downstairs. And I'm looking at this ramp, and I'm like, oh, I bet I can get some serious speed going down this thing. And so I just started somersaulting, and I did get some serious speed going down that thing. I started going. I'm
Mrs.
completely,
RA was a cheerleader in school.
but not yet.
Yeah, so
I was like,
think when she's saying somersault, she's doing the real one. We're not talking like the old man, like the sort of tumble half roll. No, she's
no, I was endoing it over and over, and I got to the bottom, and luckily, I don't know what would have happened had I not been stopped, but I was luckily stopped by an end table with a sharp, pointy end and
That's
a
lucky.
lamp. So my head hit the corner, the lamp fell off and broke on my head. And I
I'm
just
thinking lampshade, like full on the shoulders.
like the lamp came and it shattered.
oh,
so it was
that's worse.
blood everywhere.
I'm
And I just
visualizing a
remember-
lamp leg.
Yes, I'm sure it was one of those. A leg lamp.
So
Yeah.
my mom and my grandma were like, "What are we gonna do with you?" I just remember looking into the bathroom mirror and being completely covered in blood and thinking, "That's bad." And that was like the first time I had any thought of maybe this isn't a great idea.
Maybe
So,
not.
yeah.
You were getting ready for the next round. You're like,
I
"Oh,
know.
but I can see
I
the landing
am.
next time."
Like that was just like a little landing, and you can turn around and go down another one. I probably would have.
I have to give a shout out here. Jen Tolis, who was trying to join us but didn't have her camera turned on. It's her birthday.
Happy birthday.
Jen, happy
Oh,
birthday.
Jen.
Thomas is going to sing to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, Thomas, go for it.
That's all I got. I mute my mic every 15 seconds while I cough.
Adam, you can call and join and ask that question.
Yeah, Adam, you're on the short list, dude. Do you know how to call in? Not well, you could call on this,
Don't
but
call the burner phone because
doesn't work.
they'll cancel the whole show.
that's not how that works.
I can't read the
I know,
text, so if
you're
you can
going
see
fast.
something.
Decline button works the same on either phone you call Adam.
What?
Decline.
How many of your children are copies of you in your younger days? I have to say they're copies of Scott because I did that one thing. Scott has like repeated experiences where he's like, I bet I could break myself this way and this way and this way. Our kids are that.
I don't know where they get it.
Yeah.
I have no clue. Can we have Thomas sing some Barry White? They've been making music. That's what Barry
I'm-
White is.
Going for it.
He's a dirty dog because he just texted me too. He's playing dirty games.
Let's see.
Someone go on. I like to see what people look like. Mel Boy shoving
Mel.
her friends.
Okay, so let me explain. A lot of you might be sitting there thinking, "There's no way I could do this." Believe it or not, you can. It's really, really easy. And once everybody, once they've joined and come on and said it was easy, it was a breeze, and it's no sweat. They'd encourage everybody to do it. So if you have a phone that has a camera on it and you're decent,
He means dressed. He's not like rating you.
No, I'm not. It's not like you have to have a voice like this or radio skills. I'm talking just like that. You're dressed.
Like this.
Background. Please no music in the background. Other than that, you just click the little button and it says join. You'll come up in the green room. We'll see you there. I'll wait for you to give a thumbs up. Then I'll bring you on screen. It'll be simple.
It's a little hard.
I will say this much. When I met Scott, got to know him very, very well. So I was very comfortable with communicating with him and talking to him and all that. And then he said, this was back before his channel evolved. We had to connect via Zoom for me to appear. It made it rough. I got so nervous. I canceled a few times because I didn't want to show up. I was scared. If you're a little bit nervous to do it, just do it. It is so much fun once you do. Once you hop on, get to chit chat, hang out.
Away to people.
Yeah, like all your stuff on the shelves. Let's give that away.
The books.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm not going to be in the middle of a domestic
Thomas
dispute.
is like, I gotta go.
I've got a bottle of hot sauce. Maybe I need to send it down to Josh. Josh, do you have a hot sauce right there?
Yeah, I do.
That's
A little
Tabasco.
Tabasco.
It's hot sauce.
I
It
got the
says,
mule sauce.
well, it's sauce, okay?
I've got these from 2 shows ago. Still sitting on my desk.
That might be why you're sick.
I didn't.
Well,
I'm not eating. More
I've also
importantly,
got,
I've got
you know,
Skittles.
Ooh.
Little Skittles. Okay, this is interesting. Josh, you bring up little Skittles. That's obviously a variant of the main Skittle, right?
Are they really little? Like, are
'Cause
they
they are.
smaller?
You
Would
can
you
get
like
like
to see it?
Yeah.
you can get the different Skittle colors, right? Like the pastel version,
Yeah.
and the littles and the sours.
Yeah.
I was asking AI the other day how many different versions of Reese's
I
there
don't know
are.
if y'all can see them, but
Oh, they're tiny.
yeah,
Are they choking hazards?
they are
You need
not.
you need like a lot of them to choke.
Yeah.
If you put enough in your mouth, I imagine.
Anything. Yeah.
Anyway, guess how many different items there are? Reese's flavored
Reese's,
items.
like 300.
Oh, that's a little high.
There's so many though.
Over 100.
What are you doing?
I hear you.
What are you doing?
I hear you.
What are who doing?
Thomas, can you hear me?
You want to join the podcast?
I'm already here.
Honey.
Okay, that's it.
All right, sweet.
I'm sick, entertaining guests on our podcast, his wife and someone else, and we're just getting people that want to hop on the podcast for fun.
This is the ultimate.
So I was
hot
like,
mic,
oh, I'll
guys.
call my brother, see if he wants to just come on and talk some shit for a little bit.
Come on, do it.
Come on, brother.
Do it. Yeah, you know.
I
me.
know. I still called you. That's how much I love you. You still get first right of refusal, just so you know.
Oh man.
Denise, we've got a hot mic with Thomas right now. So.
Okay. We'll do it from Scottsdale together.
Excellent. I love Scottsdale.
We'll make a guest appearance for like 15 minutes and then we'll peace out. So cool. All right, cool. I'm getting back to the show.
Yeah.
So,
That
yeah.
mute button is such a tricky thing.
Mute buttons are tricky, Thomas.
They're tough, Thomas.
Mute buttons are really hard to work.
We understand.
Tell your brother hi.
Yeah.
It was great.
Good to have him.
Oh,
Thomas?
you guys heard all that?
Every
What?
word. We've been
Yeah,
sitting-
we heard every bit of it.
we were hoping he was going to join. I was
No
Just-
way. Wait,
just
can you hear me now?
right.
You can?
Crystal clear. Yeah.
What's 1 + 1?
2.
I didn't know there was gonna be a quiz.
I hit for decades of the show. I hit that button when I go
For
to
decades.
sneeze and cough and chew on. Oh my gosh. No way.
Are you hitting the red one or the green one?
The red one. That's just to mute me, not y'all. The green one mutes you. Wait. So can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
What's 2 + 2?
4.
4.
Why
5.
are we doing math?
What's 2 + 2?
4.
Okay. So none of those work. They don't mute my mic. That muted me, not all that did was
Oh, Thomas, that
I'm
was
gonna
awesome.
die. I'm so gonna die.
Just
more than
know
my
this, Thomas.
flu.
I had your back. I literally, my mouse was hanging over the button, and as soon as the conversation went somewhere where it shouldn't have, I would have clicked that, and you would have been muted in a heartbeat, like properly.
And I
Did
had
you-
a knife
did you
right in your
censor a
back.
little
I made
bit?
fun of you.
No, when you were telling the story about the donkey, we just laughed along.
I've got a text from Amber says we're hearing the whole conversation. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. Do I have to resign from the podcast?
No, you're good. It was the best content of the night. You're good.
We could probably end now. That was
Hang on.
awesome.
Hang on, we've got Denise who has joined us, and I'm going to bring Amber on as long as she promises not to talk about.
No, Amber. She's gonna no.
Yes,
Amber.
bring her
No,
in.
No.
Yes.
No. I'm sick.
Yes.
Give me. Oh.
Amber,
Okay.
I promise, I will remove you mid-sentence if you.
So how do I mute my mic when I'm coughing and too nice?
Well, let's ask that now, isn't it?
Go to StreamYard. Go to StreamYard.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
We hear you.
No way. There's no
Yes.
way. Can hear me.
Yes.
We've heard you. Yeah.
On StreamYard, down in the green room, click the microphone button.
I'm logging out.
Remember, Thomas, at the very beginning of the show, I was like,
think
good
he's
sneeze or
muted.
something. I bet you thought you muted for that.
We got the sneeze. That was good.
Yeah. It was a good one.
Future. Thank you.
Denise, welcome. Thanks for showing everybody. It's really easy to connect.
And that we don't mock you incessantly. Sorry, Thomas.
I the biggest reason I wanted to come in, not only to show everybody how easy it is and how much fun it is, I am in the process of downloading all of the most recent Koberger documents, and
that'd be
my
fun.
eyes are crossing.
Is it? I mean, it's crazy. Have you looked at the 911 call? Have you looked at the text messages between the surviving roommates?
I'm getting there, and my eyes are crossing. Like, it's a lot.
So here's just a little foundation for some of you who haven't been following this. Brian Koberger case is probably going to be the biggest trial of the year. Karen Reed is huge. Brian Koberger is going to be bigger. And that trial is starting in August, about mid-August.
August 11th?
11th or 12th, something like that. The judge in that case,
I looked it up this morning. I think it's the 11th.
The judge in the case, that's the third judge that's been on the case, but he said, "Hey, I'm sick of you guys filing everything under seal. The public has a right to know. If it doesn't need to be sealed, I'm unsealing it." And he's like, the floodgates have been opened and documents are coming out. The only thing I think he's keeping is like the grand jury indictment, the transcript, things like that. Everything else is coming out. And we've got months, because as far as evidence goes, nothing. There's been a gag order. Nobody could talk. It's all a whole bunch of speculation, and half of us are wrong about everything we're saying. And now we get all the details, and it's incredible. It's incredible. So, yeah, Denise, congratulations. Good luck sleeping tonight when you're reading all
Thanks. Night. I'm ready for the next hearing so that I can go back to the courtroom again.
Yes.
But that's not until next month sometime.
Maybe they won't shut the hearing down anymore and keep it public. So that would be good.
Right. Well, I mean, they have been. There's just been a couple that were private, but I mean, they're releasing those transcripts now.
Yeah.
So, I am also in the process of getting a very small portion of a transcript from a case that Judge Hippler was on, that was very personal to me, because people are like, what is he like? What is he really like? And this, if I can, as soon as I can get this, it's going to show his true colors and what he's really like, and why I love him so much and think he is the perfect judge for this case. I'm excited.
That's awesome. We're excited to have you as a court watcher. The throne is mine. Welcome. Did you have a question for any one of us on the live stream here?
Or an answer to anything that's already been asked?
If it's regarding muting your mic, don't ask me.
The throne is mine. Can you hear us?
Before the throne is mine gets started, I'm going to hop out so that somebody else can hop in.
Denise,
But
congratulations.
y'all have a
Have
good
fun with
night.
those documents. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks. Okay. Bye.
See ya.
All right. The throne is mine. Are you with us?
Yeah.
Hello? Can you hear us?
Hi. Oh. You can't
hear us
hear
now?
me?
We can
Can
hear
you
you.
hear me?
Yes.
Oh, you can. Okay,
yeah.
I can't hear you. Hang on. I'm having technical difficulties.
All right.
Okay. Now I can hear you guys.
There you go. Welcome. Did you have a question for
Okay.
Thomas, who's talking?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I am.
Gotcha.
Hello.
Do you have a question for one
Hello.
of us?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
You can? I can hear you guys. Hi.
Hey.
Did you have a question for one of us?
Oh. Yeah.
I think we're having technical difficulties.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
'Cause
going to
it's
mute.
looping.
I'm going to mute her. The throne is mine. I'm going to put you in the green room. You're watching on a delay, and so it's confusing you because you're hearing something about 10 seconds after it happens. So you're ended up in a circular conversation. Let's see. Nicole has ADHD. Welcome,
Hi.
Nicole.
Yes.
Rumor is you've got a channel on the YouTube.
I do have a very small channel.
That's awesome. What do you do on
Working on it.
YouTube? What do you do?
We talk about ADHD stuff. So I have a weekly that's called Tuesdays with Dr. Susan, where I bring on a former psychologist, now coach, and she's an ADHD coach, executive function coach, and special ed advocate. My background is in special education and psychology, and then I obviously have ADHD, and I have multiple kids with ADHD and autism. And then my husband and I have a psychology practice that is all about neurodevelopment. So ADHD, autism, and learning disabilities. So that's kind of my realm of expertise. So on the channel, we kind of just talk all things ADHD, parenting ADHD, and living as an adult with late diagnosis myself. Yeah, so that's kind of the gist of it. I have kind of a few different streams that we do, just kind of hanging out and chatting, talking current research that comes out, common topics, and all things related to living with and parenting ADHD.
I'm gonna put your channel name up in the chat real quickly because I'm
Thank
your
you.
241st subscriber.
Oh.
So give me just 1 second.
Yeah, and people are asking too.
There
That's
goes.
awesome.
There's
Yeah,
a link.
that's one of the most
Right
common
there.
questions
you.
I get on my
sorry.
homeschooling channel is how to homeschool kids with special needs. I do not know the answer, so it's nice to have somewhere to send people.
Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to reach out anytime. I'm happy
What-
to answer questions as I can.
What part of the country do you hail from?
I'm in Utah.
Oh, sweet.
Are you
Wonderful.
frozen?
How's the weather?
Rainy. It's been raining for like 2 days.
You're
Is it
welcome.
nice rain or is it like don't get in it, you'll get hypothermia?
It's not super cold. It keeps kind of going a little bit into slushy snow, at least where I am in Utah County. But we're getting lots in the mountains, which we desperately need. So that's good.
Utah County has some amazing things down there, aside from some great brown trout fishing on the Provo River. It's got Mount Timpanogos. I think it still falls in the county there.
Yeah.
Mount
Yep.
Timp. I've done,
Yeah,
done
we
a
can
little bit of
see it from
crosses there.
our front yard.
Not on this, not on the national park. I didn't do that. Don't tell somebody else. Tell them, even take a rock from there. But had some good times on a motorcycle up American Fork Canyon.
We
Fun
did
area.
the Mount Timp hike. I can't remember. I either had a kid strapped to me or I was pushing him in a
man.
stroller, but I remember being halfway up that mountain thinking this was a bad idea.
That's a
It was
really hard
really
hike.
long hike.
That's crazy.
I have
Well,
to
hopefully we
cough.
can get you a few more people.
That would be awesome. I'm on the quest for monetization. So
Me too. It's an impossible goal for me. What do you?
yeah,
gonna
I
do?
don't know. It might take a little while, but that's okay. It's not
Yeah.
my primary source of income, so I can just
Take your time.
grow as it needs to.
That's awesome.
That is cool. I have to. I'm planning on being. Well, I'm supposed to be out in Utah in July at Bear Lake for a family reunion.
Ooh, it's nice up there.
It's beautiful.
It
I
is.
think
It's
we're
really
actually we're going to be in Idaho. I think
It's halfway.
Well,
The
it's not-
border
yeah,
goes
it's
like
it
right through
crosses.
the lake. So
a beautiful lake. It's
Counts.
the only lake in other than Loch Ness that has a monster that I know of.
okay.
Are you aware of
All I
that?
know is it's freezing.
There's a Bear Lake monster.
Yeah.
There's a Loch Ness monster, and I think there's fish that exist only in Bear Lake and in Loch Ness.
Okay.
So there's a rumor that it's connected. It's the same monster that goes back and forth. But you might need to
I
tinfoil
didn't
hat.
grow up going to
Darn
Bear Lake.
that.
I grew up going to Lake Powell where the water is warm.
Yes.
But I have been to Bear Lake a few times and the water is
Striped
freezing.
bass
so-
fishing is fantastic down there.
The thing with Bear Lake is that every day about 4 o'clock, you get a windstorm. You just gotta
It's not like a
know.
windstorm. It is like gale force winds that instantly kick up
Yes.
monstrous waves, and like boats get swamped. Big ski
Yeah.
boats get swamped.
You know, you're a first timer there. You're out there with the kids. You're like, yay, let's play in the water. Everybody who knows better is like, they're
It's
gonna
350.
die.
Get out, time to get out. It's beautiful lake. The color is beautiful, and the raspberry shakes are delicious.
This is true.
Perfect. Nicole, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised watching the chat. You've probably got, I don't know, a couple dozen new subs just
Oh,
within the
that's
last 5 minutes.
awesome. Thank
So
you, everyone.
people are being loud and proud of checking out your channel and the cause that it promotes and,
appreciate it
what you
so
cover.
much.
So that's awesome. Well, thank you. Absolutely.
Nicole, it's great to make your acquaintance, and don't be
Yeah.
a stranger. We'll stay. I'm not sure if I could ever do anything for your channel as far as talking about stuff, other than I might have ADHD and not diagnosed.
Well,
I
I'm
have been informed
hoping
that I
in the
do.
future to do more of an interview style podcast, but I got to have the channel big enough that people want to come over and visit me.
Yeah.
So
I am curious.
you know.
Today, we were doing dentist stuff, and my
Mhm.
kid was sitting in the dentist chair, and they're drilling on him, and his hands the whole time. His hands are like doing this.
Mhm.
And I was like, "Is he okay?" And then I thought, "Wait, this is that kid." I'm like, "He always does that." I thought, "I wonder if he has ADHD." He's
No.
always moving.
There's a lot of sensory stuff that goes
Yeah.
along with ADHD that people often associate with autism, but there's plenty of sensory stuff with ADHD. As I sit here and fidget with, I like have a collection of like
Yeah,
things.
I was going
to
to ask,
play with
what's
on
your
my
go-to
desk.
fidget toy?
I
have a
like the
go-
Nice Cube. This is the Neato Nice Cube. It's a little bigger. This is from another Neato one that's very similar, and it's just like the base of it. There's like a raindrop shaped one, and it comes with this. So I like to play with that. I also like polished rocks, and I have a bunch of rocks that we picked up. I have family
That's
in
my
Washington.
daughter. That's my
Um,
daughter.
Yeah, we have family up in Washington, and we have spent some time up on the Olympic Peninsula. And if you've ever been to the beach up there, it's basically just all kind of that ocean smooth rock. So it's not like shiny, polishy, but I like those. So I keep one of those in my pocket all the time. But those are kind of my go-tos. I have quite a collection because, again, I have 3 kids with ADHD. One of them also has autism. So we've tried all the fidgets.
Yeah.
Perfect. Nicole, are you in the Recovery Addict Facebook page?
I am.
Perfect. Have you seen me on there?
Probably. I haven't been on for very long on the Facebook
Okay.
page. But
Thomas, if you see the worst jokes in the world, that was me posting it. We need a DM. You're
Okay.
saying looking for guests or people to interview or whatnot. My wife is a huge advocate for this, and a
Oh,
person
awesome.
herself of ADHD and all that,
Great.
and has a lot of experience. So she would actually be a fun one to talk to, and or if you wanted to
That'd be great.
interview her and talk to her.
Yeah,
But let's
my
connect.
plan for that series is to kind of do just an ADHD stories sort of thing. Just talk to
Perfect.
people
Awesome.
from
Yeah.
all ranges of life that have ADHD and how they got there. As someone myself who was late diagnosed, it
Cool.
was actually when my 3rd child was diagnosed, their psychiatrist looked at me and said, "Okay, which parent has it?"
Right.
You're like,
Me.
So it's
Yeah.
been a really interesting process for me over the last 5 years or so to kind of look back on experiences growing up through a new lens. Especially women. Women are often misdiagnosed as kids with anxiety disorders primarily. So it's just, yeah, that's kind of the goal eventually with
Okay.
the channel.
interesting.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on the show. Let's connect
Thank you.
Yeah.
backstage on
Sure.
the Facebook channel. We'll get there and some interviews, some people to talk to, and some content, and get you booming. Be great.
Awesome. Thank
We're
you.
not quite to 300 yet, but 283 on the.
Oh, that's awesome. I've been
Gotcha.
stuck at around like 240 for a long time. So any growth is growth.
That's awesome. We'll have to, if there's a case where ADHD plays a part, remind me. Like, hit me up. Just send me a text to the burner phone and say, "Hey, I'd like to talk."
Didn't they say, or autism? They said autism.
Yeah, I think they're saying autism.
Autism too. Like I said, my husband's a psychologist who specializes in ADHD and autism. So it's definitely we have a lot of lot
we
of
might
knowledge
tap into
in
your
that
wealth of
room.
knowledge on the channel, and possibly when we have a lot of people watching a court where that's relevant, might be able to
Yeah.
get you a few subs.
Anytime.
That'd be awesome.
That's awesome.
There was one time it came up real. I was watching the Parkland shooter when they
Yeah,
were doing his, and they were talking a lot about his kind of where he ended up in the education system as a kid, and it was because so my special education, I spent most of my time in a severe behavior unit. So it was a joint program between a local mental health community, like the community mental health program, and the school district. So it was technically a day treatment program that was housed in a school. So we had mental health staff and then school staff. So I was a classroom teacher in there, and it was a K-6 unit. So these are kids. I had the kindergarten and first graders. So they're kids who have significant mental health and behavioral issues at a very young age. So many things they were saying about him, I was just like, stop. I just really felt for, I feel for those kids because those were the kids that I worked with.
Yeah.
Well, Nicole, thank you very much. I appreciate it. We have to move on to another topic.
Sure,
which
yeah,
is
absolutely.
gifting. But I won't make you stand and do the Rise and Shout, the Cougars are out song.
That's because I'm a Utah man.
Okay. It looks like
Your shirt disagrees.
See, I'm in Hawaii. It's not the
Oh,
same.
we can only see the top. I should have seen the rainbow. That would have given
There
it away.
you go.
Thanks a lot, Nicole. It's good having you on.
Thank you.
We'll see you.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of texts. That's a hard word. Texts.
Text messages.
Yes, thank you.
On the burner phone?
Yeah, saying you should give away some memberships. What do you think?
I should probably give away some memberships. Is everyone ready? We've waited a long time. We've got 480 people here, so the competition is stiff. But everyone who is green is not eligible. I mean, that's exciting. If their name is in green, they're not competing with you. So here we go. We're going to give away a couple memberships here. I have 10 to give away. We're going to give them in batches of 5. And let's see if I can see who gets them. Here's the first 5. There we go. And it is Zezlex, Silver Swag, Jackie Smith, Hundlover 03, and Frequency Bebop. We're going to give 5 more. Hold tight.
Karen, not me.
This is so hard to read. The chat's going so fast. Okay. Cat028, Lee Holland, Teddy QC, Della Anderson, and Kristen gifted memberships.
Sweet.
Congratulations to the winners.
You do have to, should have mentioned this before. You do have to go on your gift membership or gift, whatever, and say that you will receive gifts.
Now you tell them. Hey, the throne is mine. Did you get the audio fixed? Can you hear us?
I think so. I'm all synced up now, right?
Yep, it sounds brilliant.
All good.
How are you
Good.
doing?
Good. How are you?
Great. We were wondering if you had any questions for any one of us.
I don't think I have any questions. I think I just wanted to call and say hi. I wanted to call and say hi, and I wanted to say that I love watching cases. I learned something new every case that we watch. We always see like something new every single case. It's like something new, a little thing,
Yeah.
a big thing, something new. It's so educational, and like today and more recently, because I think it's going out over YouTube, the Zoom and everything like that. And I think people are getting a little bit antsy and maybe not too keen on the whole it being broadcast and live streamed. And for me, it's hard to understand that, but maybe it's because I'm looking through it through the wrong lens. But maybe I feel like they should look at it through the lens of it. Us watching it on YouTube is kind of like, it's exactly like us sitting in the courtroom, right? So we're not in the courtroom bleachers. sitting on the hard wood. We're sitting on our couches or in our favorite chair or at our workspace or wherever we're sitting. We're sitting technically in the courtroom virtually, which is where our world is now. It's the 20th century, first of all, and in 2020, we were forced into this kind of situation. But like I said, first and foremost, us sitting and watching the trials, all the cases on YouTube and it being broadcast, it's exactly like us sitting in the courthouse, like me driving to Thurston County and watching that trial in the
You
courthouse.
almost feel at home watching the judge, right? It's like, oh, am I back in the
Yeah.
courthouse? I know him. I've hung out with him long enough that it's almost he should know
Exactly.
me if I were to walk into the room, right?
Exactly right. It feels like, you're like, hey, Judge Simpson, how you doing? Long time no see. Yeah, it's very interesting. And so, I kind of wish that instead of going at it like attacking it, like, oh gosh, we're being they're like it's taboo. You know what I mean? Like I kind of feel bad, like it's being presented right now or being felt like it's taboo. And I wish that it would be looked at more like we're virtually watching instead of sitting in the courthouse, because the world has been forced to be that way anyway. And it's educational. It's not an invasion of privacy. That's what I was trying to say. It's like almost like they're looking at it from a lens of an invasion of privacy, more over than looking at it from a lens of we're just sitting in the courtroom virtually.
I think, and I'm to blame for this, but I think we would probably be able to get a lot further to join up in that view between the two groups, the virtual and the in person, if maybe we behaved virtually as if we were in the courtroom and they treated us as if we were there as well. That would be a little bit better. There's a lot of things we do online that just would not fly.
The snacks we eat
Right.
alone,
Oh man,
not
Well,
allowed.
And it's so hard.
Right, yeah.
We're privy to so much more information than the jury. I
Yeah.
mean, it's at our hand. Whether any of us here watching now and the other half, they come to the channel to watch, have knowledge because they've researched and listened to and watched and seen something, or we have and whatnot. We try to act like jurors and say, let's watch these trials as if we're jurors. It's impossible
Absolutely.
because there is about 1% of the viewers that tune in that know nothing about the trial we're currently watching. We've
Yep.
read it, heard it, researched it, hearsay, what have you. It's impossible to act like the juror. Not to mention, if you come to the show and watch it, we hear some of the sidebars. If we can't, Scott is so good at enhancing audio where he's
I
like,
just make up
they're
words.
saying this and this,
Right.
and they're discussing this, and this is what we can't hear, but this is what you guys can hear now because I'm so
I just ad lib. It's like bad lip reading. That's what we're doing.
100%. Something that happens within the gallery while the jury's gone and all that. So we get so much more information, and we try to vote on the polls and do it as if we're jurors, and some truly do. I'm not going to discount them at all. Some really try to discount what they hear on social media, but truth of the matter is we hear so much more than they do, and it's really hard to be impartial and just go off the evidence because we have the liberty to hear a whole lot more. But
we hear all the prejudicial stuff.
and
Yeah.
that's
Of course
what
it's gonna taint
makes
us.
it fun for us to tune in and watch and be a part of. It makes it way more fun than being a juror. I mean, that's
The
why we're
prior
here.
bad
We get
act.
the
We
juicy
get
stuff.
to hear all the nitty gritty,
Yeah.
that they
So
don't
we're
get
all
to
just
hear.
lawyers in training. That's what's happening here. We're all just feeling it out, seeing, do we
That's
really want to go
true.
into that? Maybe.
The answer is
Right,
no.
exactly. And do I want to be a prosecutor or do I want to be a defense? They're
Right.
both equally as bad, right? I mean, if you look
Yeah.
at
I think
it, kind of
Thrown his mind. Thank you very much for
not
joining us
really.
today. It's wonderful to get to know you. Thanks for popping on with us.
Thanks, you guys. I love you all, and have a great night.
Good to meet
Appreciate
you.
it. We'll see you.
Good to meet you too. Bye bye.
See,
Bye.
I love coming on to these things because everybody just says they love me. I'm like, that's amazing.
That's why I'm here. I'm just here for the
Just tell me you love me
gratification. you know?
over and over. So, Thomas, I think that's
We've got-
interesting. Oh,
Got a
sorry.
question for Josh.
Yeah.
Quickly. Oh, right here from 80s Music Man. Do you watch any sports or play video games?
Oh, that's for you.
No,
Oh,
it's for
question
you.
for Josh.
Oh, it says for Josh. Oh yeah, I'm a big baseball fan.
Sweet. What's your team?
Braves all the way.
I was gonna say
Cool.
Atlanta
Go
Braves.
Rangers.
Go Rangers. Yeah. When did they win this last season? How'd they do?
They've not started yet.
Like, what about last year? I know spring baseball. Spring baseball, but
We don't watch baseball.
Last year they're okay. 2021 was their year though, so they won it all. So yeah.
That was just brilliant. Jen, you had a question for me. You said,
Yeah, kind of a comment on what you said. One of our sons is taking a he's taking a class on communication or leadership or something like that. And for one of the assignments for this class is that he needed to watch 12 Angry Men. And so he watched it. And when he finished it, he was like, Mom, you've got to watch this movie so we can talk about it. And so I stayed up late last night watching this movie, and it was the 1957 version. And another way that we are not like the jury is that we can walk away. Oh, Scott, you probably need to take this phone call.
you come sit here then.
Oh. Sorry. Where is my camera? There's my camera.
hi.
Okay.
Hi, friends. I was like, I'm not supposed to be here tonight, and I'm not running the show. What happened?
Okay. So anyway, as we were discussing this, oh, sorry, I was saying that we can hold, please.
We get to walk away.
Where's the down button? There we go. We get to walk away because
Oh,
in
your
this
seat.
um
Yes.
in in this show, none of them could walk away. They're all stuck in this tiny little room, and some of the people are bullies and some of them are not really interested in it, and there's just a lot of different personalities, but they have to stay in this tiny little area together and figure it out, and they just cannot leave until it's done. And I think that's a really
And we get to.
yes. Yeah.
We
I just
get
found
to.
you. You're on that camera. Okay. Sorry. I moved over here. I can't find anybody. You are on the big screen right in front of me. Okay. We're good.
No, that's a great point, because not only do we get to be emotionally detached, is
Right.
basically what walking away means, but you could still be emotionally attached to a degree. But say it's a 2-week trial, we get to walk away, if you want to, a few days at a time and check back in and get updates.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not only just, am I detached from this whole thing? It doesn't matter my decision. If I say guilty, not guilty, I have no conscience. It's the whole 2 weeks of attention. I can take a
Yes.
couple days off and come back and miss this, miss that. I think it's I've learned so much from following Scott's channel and watching it, because you think about it too. People in chat will say, "Did you just hear that?" And some of us don't. And Scott sees the comment and goes, "What?" And a few others go, "Yeah, I heard it too."
Yeah.
Rewind machine, and he'll re-cue
Yeah.
it back up. And so there's so much added detail and information that we get privy to
Yeah.
that simply the jury doesn't. Now, does all that information actually would help the jury in their decision? Not always, but sometimes would the context be very helpful? 100%.
Yeah.
We get to hear about all prior bad acts all the time that are ruled
Yeah.
out by judges and this and that, and juries don't. And I think there's a few cases we've seen over the past few years that a jury seemed to be on the fence, went one way, but if they knew this person had such terrible bad acts and this was in line with those bad acts,
Yeah.
they would have gone the other way all day long.
So,
Now, is
okay,
that-
I want
is
to hear
that
from you guys.
fair? I
What do you
don't know.
think?
But
Bad acts in or no? Sorry, I don't like it in my face, but you can't hear me without it. Do you
I
like
think
the idea?
I think it depends. And I think my answer, it depends, is like a cop out. But
It does sound a little cowardly.
it does, and I admit it. But reason being is I feel individuals can recover and not be bad people.
Right.
Just because they did one wrong doesn't mean they're forever wrong.
Right.
But if they did 15 wrong things of theft and they're on trial for theft, they're not getting over theft. They're going to steal.
It seems like there's a pattern.
Exactly. But I don't know how to draw that line, how to make it up, what the equation is to fix that. Because if that person stole 15 years ago once, no, I don't think it should be brought in
Right.
15 years later for his Snickers bar. He's not a habitual offender. He or she, it's not a pattern. If it's a pattern, I don't know. I don't think there's a perfect solution.
Well, and also it depends on the intensity of the crime. It's like, well, he killed someone before. Yeah, I'll bring that in. That's information I'm going to want to know.
Yeah, and it was intentional and it was violent and it was the same manner of which he is on trial for now. I feel like that should be discussed and considered because they obviously didn't get over it. But like I said, I don't know. We're dealing with humans. Humans are hard. Dogs and animals are easier.
Depends on the dog or animal. I want to hear Josh's idea too, but I'm getting kicked off.
Give her a second. We'll move her back over to our camera. Okay. There she is.
We're playing musical chairs. Okay, so Josh, what do you think? Yes or no on bad acts? Oh, you guys. Oh, these are gross. Ugh.
I didn't wear those ones.
I know, it's all me. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, what do you think, Josh?
Probably, well, like Tom said, it depends. I mean, if they're on trial for, say, robbery, and they do it every 3 or 4 years, then yeah, bring it in. But if it's totally different crimes, then no. I mean, if it's not related, then maybe not. But I mean, and it also depends on the time period between the crimes.
Yeah.
You don't want to say, okay, they did this 10 years ago, but they've not done it since, and then bring it back up. So it's a fine balance.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It's a great point.
Yeah.
I have a question for Josh. Is that a dog or a cat behind you? I think it's a dog.
I think it's a bird.
Those are 2 dogs.
I was halfway right.
A mama dog and another dog.
So the call I just got was the gig I'm live streaming tomorrow.
Yeah.
They just changed everything.
The gig is a parenting class, which we are attending because we need to figure it out soon.
They just changed everything. Like,
what do you mean?
The venue has changed.
Oh.
I'm now bringing all the equipment instead of using built-in. It's gonna be. I no longer have hardwired internet. Everything about the venue changed.
It's gonna take a long more time.
So yeah, it's gonna be fun. So anyway, someone forced Amber to be in a place where she can't talk for 10 minutes. She muted herself on the channel. She's on. She's
actually in the green room or whatever, or she was, but I didn't know how to do anything about that, so I just ignored it. Sorry, Amber.
She's muted herself, so we can't hear her.
Oh, okay.
So
considering a blessing, folks.
Yeah, maybe Thomas muted her. I'm not sure.
Thomas is like, I can't mute me, but everybody else.
No, I figured it out. Now I'm pumped.
We got this one right here. Selena K. I've asked the question 4 times for Mrs. Uri.
Oh.
Who's your favorite color? Author.
My favorite author. My favorite author is blue.
Red.
Do you know, it depends on the genre. Nonfiction, I love C.S. Lewis. Fiction, fantasy, I love Robert Jordan. Historical fiction, probably Dean Hughes is one of my favorite authors. Mysteries, I really like Miss Marple. Who writes that? I can't remember.
Agatha Christie.
Yeah, Agatha
How
Christie.
did I know that?
That was good.
I've never read a thing she wrote.
That was good. Classics. I like a lot of classics. Jane Austen. I don't really like Jane Eyre. I like a lot of freedom books. I like a lot of books. I like to read.
How many books have you read in the last 30 days?
I don't know.
Put a ballpark on it.
5.
30 days.
She's reading 5 books at a time.
I haven't read 5 books in 30 years.
What? You don't like to read? Thomas!
I've read 5
I
books.
don't like it, and I can't read.
I
So
don't
that's
read.
an easy solution.
Audiobooks.
I read 1 book.
I'm a terrible
What do you read?
listener. Ask my wife.
I read 1 book a day. That's about it.
Josh.
What book? You read a book a day? What do you read?
It's a couple pages to Bible. But, you know.
Oh, okay. Good job.
He reads the good
I
book.
love it.
Should have probably
Good
mentioned that
one.
one too.
Good one. Good one.
Why didn't you know what? We aren't pickles about politics, but you know.
Someone dropped off an 800-page C.S. Lewis book in the laundry room of my building yesterday. I grabbed it instantly. The Full Chronicles of Narnia.
We have that book right over there. I love it. I love it all together. It's so awesome. It says Narnia right on the side of it.
I could even reach it. Look. Boom.
I love
I
that
love-
book. We read that like every year.
It says thrift books, which means we bought it on sale.
Yes. I buy all books on sale. I am cheap.
Hi, Ola. She said hi, but Red Pen, you took the bait. Yes, I can read. I mean, to an extent, but
I didn't even follow up on that. I'm like, okay, we're just gonna let it go.
well, I said I don't read because I can't, and then you said audiobooks, and I said I can't listen. Ask my wife, and so that's where that came from.
All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? We've kept Thomas on longer than his doctor allows.
Seriously, Thomas, I would not have come if I'd known you could. Come on, you can do this. Obviously,
I had
full
no
confession.
intention of
Told-
being here tonight at all.
He told me he
Set
wanted
up.
to be here.
This was set up.
I know. Bait and switch.
Let's see. Any other questions that we have? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Love getting lost in a book. I've lost a lot of books.
Scott actually has mad book finding skills. That every time we lose a book and like it's really lost, we'll tell Scott to go find it and he can locate it.
Okay, so I have like a nearly photographic memory, but it's out of film. So it's imagine taking a picture, but just having like the outlines, and I can remember. There's the very sweet
No.
mango.
Is that a live camera?
No. This is not. See the dancing?
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That is not our parrot.
Oh.
I had to go to the pet store today to get some tags made to put on that we put on our horse blankets so we know which blanket goes to which horse. So when I was done, I said, I'm going back to see. We knew they had a parrot in the back that they were going to replace our parrot with. So I said, I want to go see the parrot that replaced our parrot in the frontage area. That was the video you just watched. She was extremely sweet and very dancy and bouncy and very colorful.
You did not get that parrot.
Did you buy it?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Current parrot is doing tremendous. Hangs out with my daughter on her shoulder, on her finger, and on my
Oh.
wife's finger, and on the bed and around the room, and knows when to eat and go to the restroom, back to her little cage, or Mango. Mango's doing tremendous. They said, give it a few weeks. He's traumatized. He's actually had a rough caging and transport. No, day 2, he was singing, dancing. So and I saw this one and what Mango might need a friend.
Aw.
Mango might need a friend. I don't know. Call me a sucker. I'm not there yet. It hasn't happened. But to stand there
You've got
and
the video on your favorites on your
it
phone.
was
I think
dancing.
it happened
Yeah, it was
already.
ready. So I'm loving the little parrots. So we'll see. But that's the update. One parrot right now.
Going parrot so far. That is awesome. Sixfold says you need 2. Two.
If you get 2, is it a male and a female? Are they both the same gender?
You don't know. You can't tell. They give their best guess from the breeder, but the only way you can tell is you have to get them blood tested. It's the only we can tell
Oh.
from. And it's expensive, and it's a bird specialty vet only, and blah blah blah. And so all you know is
buying another bird.
But
And
if
with-
they are male and female, then you might end up with baby birds.
so fun
Pocket parrots.
fun fact: you can buy a female bird, and they can still express nesting behaviors. They don't need a male to lay eggs.
But they won't be fertilized, right?
Correct. But what it means is, especially with parrot breeds, that will be the demise of your bird once they start
Oh,
nesting. So we learned that because you don't want to buy toys that
encourage that.
encourage nesting behaviors. So certain fibers and stuff for them to do that, because once they start, calcium levels drop and all that, and it's like emergency room visit, blah 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 blah. So yeah, regardless, you just make sure not to. But yeah, no, we're not getting another bird, male, female.
I think it's just something the bird pet shop tells people so they don't get free birds instead of having to buy them from them.
so.
It's like, whatever you do, don't let your bird have little birds. We'll take care of that.
So my daughter today, she's like, "Oh my God, he's so great. He could be a friend." I was like, no. And I was like, and no, we don't need a little bird. But you have to have birds. We could sell them and make millions. And I went, you have no concept of money and birds.
Have a little
Like,
parrot
no.
factory. Right.
I was like, the money to spend to keep these things, millions. I want to live in your life. Like, you collected 200, passed go, didn't go to jail like 10
They are
times in your
expensive.
childhood.
They are expensive.
Man.
But it was sweet. It was cute.
I used to have 2 cockatiels, and those were some crazy birds too.
Really?
Yeah, I had to rehome those because they were a mess.
I like the idea of birds, but my neighbor had a parakeet, and it would
Yeah.
fly at you, and it had like wings clipped. So when it flew, it
Yeah.
was like an explosion of feathers and noise and very little flight happening.
Yeah.
But it was still coming at you. It traumatized me as a kid, and if a bird flies, I'm like, it's like, has anyone been? I guess this is the wrong pheasant hunting. I know it's bad to bring it up right now.
Let's
because we're
talk about the
talking about
cute
pets.
pets and now pheasant hunting.
But if you've ever watched, pheasants will run around on the ground like a roadrunner, okay, and then once the dog gets close to them, they'll like explode in flight, and they'll just like it's the noise it makes when it flies.
Yeah.
That explosion sound is what I expect every time a parrot, like a bird's gonna fly, and it scares the daylights out of me. So that's why we can never have a bird.
Okay.
Speaking of bird, my dogs are bird dogs.
I've never shot a pheasant, by the way. Go ahead, Josh.
My dogs are bird dogs, and they're the they're the South Carolina state dog,
What kind is it?
a Boykin Spaniel.
All right.
What?
Boykin Spaniel.
And they're a bird dog.
They're a bird dog. Yeah.
A bird dog, because when it sees something it's interested in, it stops and freezes. Whereas any other dog, like a lab, is like, it starts jumping up and down and running around all over the place. Husky.
I think if we ever get a bird that can speak, though, I would just train it to say things like, "Remind your mom that you love her."
Who's the favorite parent? Who's the favorite parent?
Have you cleaned your room yet? I think we can get some mileage out of this.
All right.
100%. All right,
Thomas?
real quick. Two
Yeah.
quick points.
Yeah.
One, someone was asking me about a dad joke. I've ignored. But 2, Red Pen has called me out relentlessly tonight. So I've got one for Red. Why shouldn't you write with a broken pen?
I don't know.
It's pointless.
Do you have plans for the weekend?
Yeah. Hopefully get back to normal so I can hang out next podcast for a full hour and less.
It's been an hour and a half. You've done it.
I have to say, I'm planning to get my hair cut.
Oh, yeah?
There's a barber. There's a barber I can go to that can get it done really quick because he knows a shortcut.
This is a joke. I knew it. I knew it. It was a setup.
All right, Josh, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
Josh, thank you once again. I thank you in like when I thank you, I'm thanking all the mods as well. Appreciate you and Thomas and all of our wonderful mods and the great work they do on the channel. I could not do it without you. Everyone brings something different, and all together it just makes one fantastic synergistic team. Is that a word?
That is a word.
No,
Synergistic.
There we go.
Synergistic.
Synergistic.
I added an extra syllable in there.
It's okay. It happened.
Anyway, thank you. Thomas, as always, thank you for being here, even though we thought you wouldn't. It's always a pleasant surprise.
Say hi to your brother for us.
Yes.
Good to be here.
And tell him to
Thanks so much.
come on the show.
I
There's nothing to
know.
be scared of.
And then you can go to Scottsdale.
Don't act like you overheard that phone call or something. He has no idea. I'm so dead. I'm so dead.
We couldn't hear his side very well.
It took me 3 seasons to learn the mute button.
All right, Mrs. R.A.,
Yes.
thank you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks.
Thanks for
I don't think I had to be here. You guys had it, but it was fun.
it was good.
No, you're great.
All of you have a great night. Have a wonderful time, and we'll see you in the morning, bright and early-ish. It's Friday. So we can't do much court hopping because everyone's doing landlord-tenant stuff, which is just sad. Don't like watching people get kicked out of their house.
Let's not end on that note.
No.
Did you hear the rumor about the butter?
No.
I'm not going to spread it.
Oh, I knew it had something to do with spread.